Hello and welcome to the King Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here is the wonderful Jovanna Vidal. Jovanna, how are you?
I am doing so happy. I'm so excited this finally is coming to be, Kayden. I'm excited to be with you all today.
Well, thank you for taking the time. We really do appreciate it.
I'm excited.
For those who do not know who you are, kind of tell everyone a little bit about you.
Sure, Kayden. So I'm an actor, host, voiceover in Los Angeles, California. I've been there now for 13 years pursuing my acting career. And most recently, in the last few years, I've been blessed and honored and privileged to be part of the Darman fam. And so I'm an actor on the Darman YouTube series, which has been amazing. So perhaps maybe that's how you may know me.
Awesome. What made you want to start acting?
Oh, great question. Oh my gosh. I think I've always wanted to be an actor. I think when I was 3 years old, 5 years old, I would like look at the big TVs back then. Not to date myself or anything, but they were really big, like boxes back then.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be inside the TV. And I'm like, how do they get in there? Like, I'm 5 years old. And I'm like, I don't
hmm
understand how they get in that box. And then finally, after years, I'm like, oh, they're actors, like, a little young
hmm
mind. And growing up, I was always encouraged to do like a profession. So acting was not in the realm of possibilities for my parents. They're like, no, you're going to school and you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer. You're going to be something that you can like fall back on.
hmm
So the closest thing to I could do was business. So I went to
hmm
school for business. I did my business career for several years. I was actually in advertising. I was behind the camera. And then when I first started to see those auditions, I was like, oh, this is how the actors get the jobs. They have to
hmm
audition. So I made my transition from behind the camera to in front of the camera. And I moved to Miami to start my pursuits. I felt I had been there long enough. And then I moved to LA with big stars in my eyes. And that was a whole nother journey. But it's always been in my blood. I've always wanted to do it. And now I'm excited to finally say that I'm doing it.
And that's super important too, like, to be able to actually, pursue your dream, I think is super important.
Oh my goodness. It's, I think, one of the reasons we're put on this earth is to
Mhm.
follow our heart, to follow our dreams, to do what makes us happy. Because not everyone is going to find happiness in everything. You have to, search for it oftentimes, unless you're lucky to know right off the bat that that's what you're going to do when you pursue it. I had to go. I had to wander.
Yeah, yeah, I totally understand that for sure.
Yeah.
So, do you have any, upcoming projects with Darman that you can talk about?
I have several in the can. For any
Mhm,
viewers who don't know what that means I've shot several, but they still haven't aired. This week, while I'm traveling, the last couple weeks, I've had 3 or 4 actually air. So
mhm,
I still have a couple more that I'm excited about. However, I don't have any scheduled for when I get back to LA in a couple weeks.
mhm.
So we'll see what comes out. But I've been really excited about the ones that came out. The Mother's Day special where I was with Catherine Norland working opposite
Uh-huh,
her.
mhm.
Oh, she's amazing. She's so incredible on off screen, and she is just a delight to work with Armando Rey, my
Mhm.
on-screen husband. I had a couple who were aired last week. So yeah, I think I'm excited to get back to LA to see what else they have for me.
That's awesome, and, where are you traveling to? Just out of curiosity.
I am with my family for the first time in several years. We all know why that is. So
Mhm.
I finally got an opportunity to be with my family, and it's been amazing. So I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, how cool. How's the weather there right now?
Warm.
As always.
And waiting for some storms. We probably may
Mhm,
get some thunder. But I love it because living in Los Angeles, I don't see much rain at all.
mhm,
I heard thunder for the first time this week, and I was like, "What is that?" Like I was startled because it's been so
mhm.
long since we've heard a rainstorm in LA that I was like, "What is that?" And so I'm loving the weather.
Definitely. So, do you have any advice to those who might want to start acting but doesn't really know how to start or is anxious, nervous, worried? Any of those?
Oh, Kayden, I love that question. Thank you for asking it. I do. I do. That's a lot of what I talk about on my channel. It's called The Scenic Route with your girl Jovanna, because I love putting out videos where I talk about my journey, what it's taken me to get here, the lessons learned. And if I can help you bypass any of those errors I've committed along the way, I'm happy to share them. So as far as acting is concerned, I would say, because it may not seem like it, but I'm a little shy. So I do post videos about, how to get into acting, even if you're shy. And I also say oftentimes to do a lot of research. So before you go into this really, really unstable profession, you want to know what you're getting yourself into. So I really am a firm believer in obviously the YouTube University and the Google University. Like, do your research. You want to make sure you're clear on what's expected of you. And things have changed in the last 2 years, obviously. So there's different requirements, there's different
Mhm,
expectations, and you just want to know what that entails. You want to be trained. You do not, you do not want to put your first foot out there without being trained. So acting, a
mhm,
really good acting class is so important. And because the world has changed in the last couple of years, you can do classes online, which, a couple of years ago, you only
mhm.
could be in LA for them.
Right.
So it has opened up the market. You just want to, like anything, you want to be prepared for the opportunity. You don't want an opportunity to come to you and you be like, how do you do this? You want to be prepared.
No, I agree 1000%. It's one of those things that, you don't want to get to wherever you're going, LA, New York, whatever, and be there and like not know what's going on. So I agree.
Yeah, if you're gonna make that big move, because it is a big move to move to one of the
Mhm,
bigger markets. Again, it's not as essential as it was a couple years ago. You
mhm,
can do the initial foundational work from anywhere, right?
mhm,
You can research and you can learn about different expectations in different modalities.
mhm.
So if you want to do drama, the expectations are different than if you want to do comedy, right?
Right.
If you want to do improv, that's different. If you want to do voiceovers or hosting or, animation, there's so many different facets of the acting umbrella that you really want to make sure you tune into what it is you want to do instead of being like, oh, I can do everything. It's like, no, pick what you want and go for that and
Mhm,
really focus and specialize in that genre.
mhm. And I think that's also really important because you can't really do everything in acting. That's just I feel like that's super impossible.
You are so right, Hayden. It's
You're
like,
looking at me like, "Yep, he's right."
you are so right. You
Yeah.
are beyond right because
Mhm,
it's like anything in life. It's like the
mhm,
true professionals get paid for their specialty.
mhm,
It's like similar with an actor. It's like you can't be all things to all people. And if you think you can develop different skills as you go
mhm,
along, but you want to try to not bite the whole like leg of the elephant at the same time. Like take up one bite. Don't
mhm.
try to like, eat the whole thing in one sitting. And that is acting. It's a beast. It really is. And it's intimidating to get into it, and you just want to make it more manageable. And when you find a little like sliver that interests you, then it makes it more manageable, I believe, in your brain.
Totally. So, I've asked this question a lot, and I've stumped a lot of people with it, but
Okay.
I'm curious to see, like, what your answer is to this.
Okay.
So, if someone was to make a movie about you or something that's happened in your life, what would they write about?
Oh, that's a great question. I've never been asked that. Oh, that is so cool. Um, oh, Kayden, I don't want to be one of the stumped ones. I don't. But that's a fantastic question. I love
Mhm.
it. So my movie, I think, would be about okay, here we go. It would be about what my channel is about. It's
Okay.
about taking the road that you want to be on
Hmm.
and enjoying it and smelling the roses along the way, because you can't get so busy and so bogged down and so overwhelmed that you don't enjoy it
Hmm.
while you're on it, because if not, it's a really frustrating course, and I've been there and done that. So I think my movie would be about overcoming the challenges and coming out on the other side and being happy. I think so many
Hmm.
people seek to be happy, and I am there, and it's been a journey to get
Hmm.
here. So I think the movie would be about that, like how to ride the wave. While not surfing, because I'm not a surfer.
Yeah. That is funny. Yeah. That's I think that's perfect. And I think that was really well said.
Oh, thank you, Cannon. I'll take it.
Oh, you're very welcome. So have you just been in Darman or have you been in other things too? Like any other like feature films or anything like that?
Thank you for asking, Kaden. We just had the world premiere of God in Salsa. That is a feature film that I actually auditioned for that in 2018. 19, we did our funding
Mhm.
program. 2021 doesn't count. And
Yeah.
then we finally shot it. We had a little sliver in the middle of 21 where things
Mhm.
kind of, permitted us to film. And now we're in the festival circuit. So we've won quite a few awards in New York and LA. And the reason I came to Florida initially and this whole
Mhm.
trip was introduced was because I was nominated for Best Actress in Gone in Salsa, where I play the lead. And that was in Orlando just 2 weeks ago, I guess. So it's been a whirlwind. It's been amazing. And that
Mhm.
is my most current upcoming project. And it's soon to be released summer 22. So it's coming.
Oh, very, very cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah. So yes, aside from Darman, yes, I've been in LA for 13
Mhm.
years. I've done a lot of commercials. That's how I started in LA,
Mhm.
going from corporate to acting. That for
Mhm.
me was the easiest, that little like window I
Mhm.
tell you to look for. I always wanted to be in commercials. I love commercials. That's why I was in advertising. So that was my little like, okay, I'm going to try commercials. And it's a great like entry path
Mhm.
because you don't need as much of a skill set. Like when you're
Mhm.
doing a feature film, it's different. When you're in
Yeah.
commercials, it's like a 30-second little sliver of life, and you can like live in that little 30 seconds and be good and well. So that was my area of concentration when I first moved to LA. So I've done a lot of commercials, a lot of voiceover, hosting, animation, and so 13 years is a long
Mhm.
time. I've dabbled in a lot.
When you say hosting, define that.
Thank you, Kayden. So I've done like red carpets where I
Okay.
ask questions like, "Hi, how
I
are
got it.
you?"
Got it. Mhm.
I've done like fitness videos where I'm like, "Okay, everybody,
Mhm.
I'm your host for this video. Let's." So a lot of that, like first, like
Okay.
on camera
Mhm.
person that you're introduced to for a product or a service or an event, I'm your girl.
Oh, okay. That's what
Yes.
I thought, but I wanted to kind of clarify that for anybody that's probably asking, like, what does she mean by hosting?
Thank you, Kate. And yes, no, I'm
Yeah.
not GoDaddy.
She doesn't do website hosting.
Thank you for the clarification. That is not, I'm not your girl for that.
So where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? Do you have a goal set for yourself?
Oh, always. Always. I love setting goals. It's one
Mhm.
of my favorite things to do because only when you set goals can you see where you've come to and how far
Mhm.
you've come. So goal setting for me, and it's, I mean, I live with a little notebook. I love
Mhm.
it. I journal. I love putting benchmarks and timelines on things. So in
Mhm.
2 years ish is what is it? That what you told me? You want 2, 5, or 10 or 25? I got them all, Kayden.
Why don't you give us for the 5 to 10 range?
5 to 10. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. 5 to 10 years. I would love to, of course, be acting still. I would love to be speaking more frequently. I love to write. So
Mhm.
having a few books published by then, having a family that is high up there,
Mhm.
and traveling a lot and having little chapters all over the world. And that's what I
Mhm.
call when you move somewhere with 2 suitcases and you live there for 2 to 3 months and you like are immersed in the culture. That's what I call a chapter. So I want lots of chapters.
Mhm. That is awesome. So, what do you like doing outside of acting? Do you have any hobbies or interests that you like doing?
Yes, I do. I don't often have the chance to do them, but luckily, one of them I have been doing a lot of. So, my husband and I married about, it's going to be a year now in July, 4th of
Mhm.
July weekend. And we moved into our home and we renovated it. So, we rehabbed it from top
Mhm.
to bottom in 2 months. And then we got married in it. So, for any ladies out there watching, yes, that was not the smartest thing to do, but that was how it unfolded. And so I really love like DIY. I love like taking things apart and putting them
Mhm.
together. I love taking like a sledgehammer and like breaking things and then building it back together. So I've gotten a little bit of experience with that in the last few months, and it's just been amazing. It's been amazing. The whole um being that using that part of my
Mhm.
creative brain, like designing and drawing and doing things like that. So I love that, and that has been keeping us very busy.
Oh, I'm sure it has. That's really cool. So, did you guys finish it yet?
It's never quite finished and
Well,
never
yeah, that's
explained what
true,
that
but
means. But we were so ambitious and we got so much done. Now we're doing all the things we didn't have time or budget for at the time. So now
Mhm.
we're putting some nice little finalizing touches, finishing touches to the things. So yeah, it's been fun. It's like you get in there and you mix the grout and then you like who would have thunk I would have so much fun doing that? I don't look like I would, but it's amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Do you have a message for those who have been following you for a while? Any fans or anyone that might be new watching you or listening to this?
Oh, Kaden, I love that. Thank you. That is so sweet. Yes, I have a message. My message is keep going. Just keep going. If you feel that there is something out there for you and you don't know how to get there, just put one foot in front of the other and just know that the next step will be presented to you. And my advice would be don't wallow in the the seemingly like the seeming mistakes or setbacks that are happening. Don't wallow in them. Like just trust that they're happening for you and that you're able to overcome them, and that when you do, oh, it feels so good. That sense of achievement, that sense of like satisfaction. And so keep going. That's my message. And thank you for watching and for joining me on my channel. It's been an amazing ride being with the Darman fam and having, it become what it has become. Because when I started it, none of us had the foresight that it was going to be this. We did not
Mhm.
know. And the fact that, again, using Dar as our
Mhm.
example, it's like, keep going. He wanted to quit so many times. Don't quit. Find another way, find another door, find another window, but keep going if that's what your heart tells you to do.
I love that so much.
Me too. That's what I've been doing
Yes,
for 13 years.
right? That you've been telling people, let's do this. Come on.
It's been,
Yeah.
it's And sometimes you have so many challenges and it's
Hmm.
tricky, and it's so easy to get stuck in that, and it's like, no, 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 push through, find the inner strength, and I promise you that the outcome will be so satisfying. It'll be so worth it.
Yes, for sure. So where can people find you on social media if they want to follow you and keep up with your adventures, Giovanna?
Hi, Kayden. Thank you. I hope you all will follow me on my channel on YouTube, The Scenic Route with your girl Jovanna. It's just my name, Jovanna Vidal, if that's easier to remember. And anywhere on social media, it's This is Jovanna. Like you're introducing me, this
Mhm.
is Jovanna, because this is who you're going to get. You're going to get me. I'm going to put it out there. And whether I'm your cup of tea or not, this is me. This is who I've worked
Mhm.
so hard to become, and this is who I'm going to put out there to the world. And I advise us all to be more of that, so that we can all live in our own truth and in our own happy place, and not be something we're not. And that's a journey, but it's a
Mhm.
good one. It's fun. So this is Jovanna,
Yes.
is
Mhm.
where I'm at.
Mhm. Awesome. And is there anything that I forgot that you'd like to mention before we go today?
Kaden, this has been so fantastic. Your questions have been so awesome. Thank you for making me think in the way you made me think. Thank you for inviting me on here and having me share my story with your viewers. Thank you for your generosity. That's amazing. And it's just been fun chatting with you. So I hope we get to do it again.
Oh, absolutely. We'd love to have you back on. And again, I'd like to thank Giovanna for coming on the Kayden Gordon Show today's Best Country Mix. We appreciate your time so much for taking the time to come on today with us.
Oh, so delighted. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day and keep going.